We are less than 2 months away from the Unstoppable Badass event, and we are so excited to come here. I'm here with my husband Andrew, who is going to be guest speaking at the event as well too. And I'm just really excited to really share with you one of the fastest ways to completely shift your entire identity into becoming an unstoppable badass. Now, I could have easily done this event on Zoom. I do plenty of Zoom masterclasses. I do a bunch of live streams just like this. But there's something so valuable about getting in the room and being in person, which we're going to talk about today. When you're at your home, it's safe, it's comfortable, it's familiar, and it's really hard to challenge yourself or push yourself or have this massive identity shift because everything feels safe and everything feels comfortable. When you actually have to pack your bags, get on a plane, fly to a specific destination, and be in the room with other badasses who are also deeply valuing their health, their relationships, loving themselves, loving their body, deeply finding confidence, and not just in their own skin, but who they actually are as a person, you calibrate to that level and identity shifts start happening way quicker because you see yourself as a more valuable human. When you make a big badass move to say, I'm not going to stay in my comfort zone. I'm not going to be at home. Like, I am going to fly across the world to be at this event. I'm going to get in the room. It's like you start to see yourself as go from a badass to an unstoppable badass. And when you see yourself as more valuable, you can take better risks. You step out of your comfort zone. You go after what it is that you want without doubting yourself, without comparing yourself. And there was a very clear reason why I chose to do this event in person because even Andrew and I have experience. We've attended events in our lives. Andrew has hosted a few events himself, and the inner identity shift. It's not even like this outer identity shift. It's like this inner identity shift of like, I am this badass. Like, I am making these badass moves. Like, I am stepping out of my comfort zone, and you just can't get that same level of transformation or identity shift than when you're at home.
I think one of the biggest benefits of being in the room is as much as we want to transfer energy to you ladies through the screen, as much as we want to be literally side by side with you and say like we've got your back, there is nothing like when Lorna talks about the energy transfer. This isn't something that's very woo woo. We can all literally come across and think of a conversation we've had with a friend, with a family member, with maybe a past mentor who, when you were in front of them, they said something very profound. And sometimes it's not even during the speaking, it's not even during the presentations. It could be during a one off conversation, it could be connecting with a permanent, lifelong friend like Lorna and I have had through our retreats. It could be seeing that one spark or seeing how someone else responds to it that makes you go, holy crap, this is really powerful. You don't get this from being on a Zoom. There's a reason why going through these past couple of years, people crave this level of connection.
Yeah.
Because when we step in to the collective of energy, when we all line up towards the same goal, thinking the same things, having the same desires and the same wants, this is what makes us grow. We grow by having and sharing that energy and by all collectively focusing on this. A large part of being an unstoppable badass and why like I wanted to be a part of this and why I wanted to speak in this is, ladies, you're holding yourself back. You are. There are places where you know you could be playing bigger. There are things that you know you could be doing better. Areas you know where you could show up more in your relationships. And for some reason, you want to be this high energy, high volume person, but then you're not showing up physically. You're not showing up in person. You're not doing these things. And I know that there's a lot of stuff that can be going through your head. I'm an introvert. Yeah, that's a bunch of BS. Technically, we're all introverts. There's always an extroverted side of us. Oh, I don't know if it's going to be for me. People are sharing personal information. It's like that's exactly why you need to be there. Want to stop being introverted? You need to be there. Want to connect with people and be like, holy cow, this person is going through the same thing I am? You need to be there. You want to take a step above others and you want to put yourself in a higher form, then you have to do what other people aren't doing, which is showing up in person.
It's a whole other level of commitment. That's really what it is. And even from me, like going to in-person events, it's like everyone there is highly committed to their growth, to their evolution, to stepping into the greatest version of themselves. And you feel that energy. It's like you get fired up. Like one of the badasses, Sarah, who's coming, she's bringing her daughter. She's actually never done like anything, any programs with me. But she's like, I need to come to this event because I know that every single time I attend an in-person event, it's like I am so fired up. I'm so lit up. Like the entire room is just like filled with energy. And there's certain exercises and experiences that are so much more transformative when you actually feel that level of connection. And I was even just talking to somebody today and she said, I'm feeling kind of lonely. And she has, she has people in her life. But it's a whole other ball game to be surrounded by people who actually get you, who understand exactly what it is that you're going through. A family member, a friend, a coworker, you're surrounded by incredible people. But when you're around the people who have the same vision as you, the same goals as you, they want to push themselves. They want to challenge themselves. They also, too, want to finally look at themselves in the mirror and say, like, I love you. They finally want to look at themselves and actually be like, I'm so proud of you. Like, look how far you're coming. Like, you can't get that same level of deep connection from somebody who doesn't fully understand where you're at and where you're going.
I think it's really important when we talk about community. If you're finding that your life is good, but it's hasn't really changed in a hot minute, you're having the same conversations, there's not really any growth, you need to look at the people around you and recognize that there is a point in your life, and you could be there right now, that you are the biggest person in the room. That you have the highest energy, that you are the one making the moves. And the moment you become the biggest person in the room, the highest person in the room of energy, the one who's willing to do all the stuff, you need to find a different room. And this is why these events, retreats, things to go in person is so powerful, because every person going is the person who is the biggest in their room. And now we all put you together, and now we create a room that has such a high level of excitement, such a high level of passion, such a high level of joy, such a high level of dreams and growth, and all the things that you think are possible that maybe the people around you aren't quite supporting because they don't believe the way you believe. Girl, guess what? They're going to believe at the event. Yeah. We know, because every person who's picked up a ticket is the right woman to be there. Yeah. And that's how you know that you should be there. There's no questioning that you're the right person. You are the right person.
But do you see yourself as the right person? And, there can be so many things floating inside of your head, like, I'm shy, I'm awkward, or I'm not confident yet. But that is exactly why you need to get in person, because that's the only way you're going to be confident. It's actually doing things scared. Like I'm and I love being at home. I'm a very big introvert. But I still push myself out of my comfort zone and I go to these events. I just went to my mentor's event in December and I could have been like, oh wow, like these are like gonna be like very highly successful people and like maybe like I don't know, like am I gonna belong? Am I gonna fit in? Like I could have said so many other things, but I said if I wanna be at that level, I actually need to get in the room and be with those people who are confident, who are successful, who are healthy, who are happy. Like and you know, it's not a matter of I need to feel confident to then show up to the room. It's I'm going to show up to the room and as a result of being in the room, I'm actually going to become confident. That's just the way that it is. And bring the shyness, bring the awkwardness. Like that's all welcome here because that's all gonna dissipate. That's all you can literally say good freaking bye to that on the way home when you're flying home, and your husband's gonna be like, holy moly, like you're just like this confident badass. Like people are gonna start to notice, like people at your work are gonna be like, whoa, like things have shifted, but in the best way because you are letting go of old habits, old identities, old thoughts, old patterns, old things that just don't serve you anymore. To go from a badass to becoming an unstoppable badass, there's certain things you're gonna have to let go of: fear, doubt, anxiety, comparison, right? Like doubting yourself, like, oh, I don't know, like, do I belong here? Yes, you do. Comparing yourself, oh, maybe like she can do, but I can't. No, all of that is gonna be left behind. But you need to start seeing yourself as that person now. And the moment that you get your ticket, is the moment your identity shifts because you're like, I belong here. Like this is me.
One of the biggest, most badass things that you can do, especially if you know how much that this is going to transform your life and how much that this is going to change, is literally bring a friend. If you want to have people that you know in the room and you want to grow with the people around you, and maybe you're saying to yourself, "Ah, you know what, like if I go alone, but then like no one's going to understand the thing that I went to, perfect. We all know a lady who can 100% benefit. Put them in the room as well, because just like you are looking to transform and grow, so are they. And what a great gift, what a great transfer of energy, what a great badass move and impact that you can do than to literally say to yourself, you know what, me and my bestie are going and we're going to grow together. Because guess what? That's how me and Lorna grew together. We didn't say, oh, by the way, I'm going to take or see ya, and then I took a leave. No, I stepped in with Lorna and we made decisions together. We went to retreats together. We continued to elevate our friends, elevate other people, because we know, just like coming back down to who's the biggest person in the room, we want people to grow with us.
Yeah.
And that's the power of this community that's here. It's so important, ladies. This is not just a 3-day thing. You might think you're going there and it's only going to be this short length of time and that's it. The transformation you get coming out of that, the life you get to live after that, this is so much more than just a weekend.
You're not flying home the same person. And you know, it's not, it's exactly what Andrew said. It's not like, oh, I'm just like going to like this workshop and I'm going to learn some things. You're going to have this entire transformational body identity shift. Like I said, with certain things you need to let go of, there's going to be certain things that you step into on the way home. There's going to be certain things that you're no longer available for, habits that no longer serve you. Goodbye. It's like I have declared that I'm now this unstoppable badass, and the way that you live your life in April, May, June, July, and for the entire rest of the year and beyond is going to be different because you made this one move. And it's always this ripple effect. You know, it's not like you have to just make one badass move in your life and like you're forever changed. It's like I still to this day always continue to make big badass moves because it's like, okay, I make a badass move, I transform. And then it's like you're at a higher level. But then you don't want to just stay there. You want to reach the next level. So it's like, what's the next badass move that I can make? And it's like, you have to continuously push yourself out of your comfort zone and make those big badass moves, because that it creates this ripple. And then also it's like, you desire that. Like, you long for that. You know, one of the badasses coming, she's like, you know, at first she's like, oh, it's like, it's far and like, I can't make it. And then she was like, wait, like, that's not who I am. She's like, I'm literally going to make a trip out of it. She's like, I deserve to be in the room. Like, this room, it's going to expand me. I can't afford to not go. And she booked her ticket, booked her flight, and she's going to get in the room. So this is not just a 2-day, let's write some notes down and let's hear Lorna talk. No, this is going to be a whole body transformation where you're flying home the woman that you've always known you were meant to be. Confident, you love yourself, you can look at yourself in the mirror and actually be like, whoa, like, for the first time in my life, I actually love you. Instead of like, oh, like my stomach and my arms and, you know, shaming yourself. It's like, no, for the first time in my life, I actually feel like I love myself. For the first time in my life, I actually believe like I can do anything. Like, the goals that you once thought were impossible are going to become so much more achievable when you're at this event and you're around people who are normalizing what it is that you're doing.
I love it. We're so passionate about this because the impact is immediate. It's not something that it's gonna take a couple of days for you to break down what we're gonna go through and share. It's like it happens, that overnight switch that Lorna talks about happens so instantaneously.
Yeah.
And that's why we're fired up, because we know every single lady who's gonna be in that room is going to have their life changed, and you deserve to be in that room. There's no reason why you can't lean in, step in, become resourceful. There have been tons of times where we've become resourceful because we know and recognize that the value of who we become afterwards is always more than the value of what it is up front.
Yeah.
And here's the question: what's it costing you to not change? To be in just okay land? I don't know about you. I don't like okay land. Okay land is I don't know. I guess that's cool for like maybe your kids if you want to keep them there.
It's but safe. It's comfortable.
Yeah, we want to be the best.
That matches the moves that you make. So if you're making comfortable moves, you're gonna have a comfortable life. But if you make these badass moves, you're going to become that unstoppable badass. It's like the bigger the move that you make, the bigger the results. You know, again, it's like, I'm just going to stay at home in my comfort zone and like watch a Zoom training or like listen to a podcast. You're going to get information. You're not going to get that identity shift. And that is why we're doing this in person. That's the biggest difference. A Zoom call is great, but it's not going to cut it if you want to actually completely transform your identity. So we're super excited. And I've shared on my Instagram, but anyone who purchases their ticket this week is going to get access to the Root and Rewire membership all the way up until the event, which is literally batshit crazy because there's been over 100 people that have gone through this membership from all around the world, the UK, Australia, Italy, Spain, like literally from all around the world, the UK, and they've stopped binge eating. So not only are you going to get your ticket to come to this event, to meet in person, to be in the freaking room and have a complete identity shift so you can actually step into your confidence and become the woman you know you're meant to be, but you're also going to get access to the Root and Rewire membership that has completely revolutionized people's relationship with food and conquered binge eating. And you're going to get access to that when you purchase your ticket this week. You will get essentially 2 months inside of the Root and Rewire membership when you join this week. And there's literally like instant access. There's over literally like 15 hours of instant trainings of how to get out of the all or nothing mentality, how to stop secret eating, how to actually rewire your brain so you're less impulsive with food, how to stop eating when you're full, how to stop emotional eating. Like there's transformative trainings right there that you can literally binge instead of the Ben & Jerry's ice cream. that will
Man.
transform your life.
That's why. Can I join at the?
No.
No, come on.
No.
Oh, I guess it's only for you ladies. Oh, darn.
You have to make a big badass move to get this. So, if you'd like to purchase your ticket, this event is happening March 29th and March 30th in Orlando, Florida. And again, if you get your ticket this week, you will get access to the Root and Rewire until the event. So message me Unstoppable and I will send you all the details and we'll go from there. This is going to transform your life. I'm super excited and we cannot wait to see you. Of course, Andrew is going to be guest speaking at the event as well too, which is going to be a really special treat because my people don't get to hear Andrew speak a lot, and I'm like, this is a big event, so of course he's going to be able to speak and show his expertise.
I'm so excited. Yes, we are pumped and hope to see you there.
Yes, we will see you there. So message me Unstoppable. I'll send you all the details, and we'll see you guys in the room. Okay, bye.